Rolling.
All
All right,
right.
thanks for joining us, everyone, tonight. I'm obviously in my kitchen. I didn't even eat dinner yet, but that's how it goes, right? We all kind of make those sacrifices to build our business from home. So tonight we have Jessica that's going to kind of touch upon a lot of little different things about just kind of getting back to the basics, doing those little simple things that we tend to kind of overlook because we want to do those big shiny things. But if we just stick to the basics, that's what Jessica's going to talk about tonight. Before I kind of let Jessica take it away, I just wanted to mention that this week is the week I've been talking about since January. It's Super Saturday. And like I was just saying, there are sacrifices in this business that you do make, like for Super Saturday. Yes, we all have to take time away from our husbands, from our kids, from our friends, from this, from that, from that. Yes, we all have to drive to Super Saturday, including me. I will be driving 2 hours to go to Super Saturday. So just know those sacrifices that you make for your business, they are going to be, they're going to come back to you tenfold. So while you might think, oh, what am I missing out on if I go? Ask yourself, what are you missing out on down the road when the compound effect takes over and this thing, really is successful for you. So I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to let Jessica take it away. So thanks, Jess.
Yay. All right. Hi, everyone. So before we kind of get into what we're going to discuss overall for the call, I wanted to share my screen for a moment. Lisa got a sneak peek and she posted it in Team Spirit, but I wanted to share with you guys the April sales so you can kind of take note, and that way you can even replay it back to see it. And I'll put this picture that she shared in Team Spirit up on Team Arise. So that way, I shared it and somebody, I forget who it was that asked if we knew what April was already. But let me just pull it up. So here we have the April challenge pack offers. So Masters Hammer and Chisel plus Shakeology challenge pack is $160. Then you have the plus the performance. Instead of Shakeology, it was $160. You have the club and Shakeology challenge pack at $140. Still, the club kickstart and Shakeology, which includes the 3-day refresh, at $180. Club and performance challenge pack $140, and the ultimate reset, which I'm super excited about and I already posted about it. That's not going to be available until April 18th, it says, but it's at $275 instead of $305. So it's perfect for those spring cleaning kind of challenge groups. And if you don't know anything about the ultimate reset, I could do a whole other call on the ultimate reset and the benefits of doing it and what it did for me. So if you have questions about it, it is one of the more intense programs, I think, for Beachbody, because it's totally focused on nutrition and meal plan, and that it's one of the hardest things you'll do, but it's one of the most beneficial because you really do completely clean yourself inside and out, and the benefits by far outweigh the 21-day commitment you have to make. So here's a good look at them. So more essentials will be up, Diamond Insider on 330, and you can find more info at the FAQs on 331. So here you go. Here's a little sneak peek at what the challenge packs are for April. So you can start thinking about your challenge groups. Start thinking about maybe teaming up with someone. If you want to maybe give the ultimate reset a try, now is the time to invite other people along, especially starting April 18th. So I'm going to stop share. Okay, any questions about those challenge packs or anything? Or if you do, you can just pop into Team Arise and ask your questions there. All right, so before we begin the topic, I did want to do two, if I cough, I'm sorry, I think of allergies. Two little things of recognition. I wanted to congratulate Courtney. I don't know if she's on the call tonight. She's like getting ready for baby. So Courtney had a very big post this week. If you didn't get a chance to see it, definitely head over to her page and congratulate her. She's officially credit card debt free. which being Courtney's coach from the beginning, the first goal that she set for herself was before starting a family and, really getting into having a baby, getting the house set up and everything. Her first goal, first and foremost, was becoming credit card debt free. And she officially achieved that this week. So I think we can all, share that post, let people know what this business is doing for each other and our team members. And that's definitely something you want to share and talk about. So congratulations to Courtney. The other one I wanted to acknowledge, only because she's down in my downline and I know her coach wishes she could be on the call right now to kind of give her thumbs up and a cheers, and I'm sure she already did. But Diana, I wanted to congratulate you on reaching Success Club 18 this month, and I know one of your original goals was to get your Shakeology paid for, right? And by doing what you're doing and pushing so hard, you've by far exceeded that amount in commissions alone and are really starting the business off right. So yay for you. Just wanted to say congrats. Way to go. So to get into the topic of tonight's call, Rosie asked me last week to do the call and to talk about how one of my strengths is enrolling people as coaches, not just as customers, and what that does for my business and what it's always done for my business. But then as I started thinking about what message I really wanted to focus on tonight for the call was more so, it came kind of organically from the week that I had 2 weeks ago. So, sorry guys. I wanted to kind of start off with where my business has been and where it's taken me, and where 2 weeks ago I was kind of sitting at a very different place in my business and I wasn't really sure what direction I was going in. And sometimes we have these shiny diamonds and stars, and it may seem like we're always on the ball with the business, but there are ups and downs in this business. And sometimes even for people who've been in it for 3 years, it is kind of hard to see it going back up. And so that's why tonight I was like, I really want to talk about the shift in mindset that happened for me 2 weeks ago. So when I started almost 3 years ago, I started by doing the Ultimate Reset. And that was the first program that I did. And I started off by losing 16 pounds, feeling incredible, and I didn't know what to do with these results. And Rose and I were talking because I had asked for help on if anybody had pet sitting jobs or anything like that for the summer. And she said, why don't you just start sharing, the results that you got with the reset and see what happens. So when I did that, I have to say I put my before and afters up, and my business kind of started on its own. I was blown away. I had people messaging me from grade school that I hadn't talked to in 20 plus years. And it kind of snowballed from there. And I had momentum from the beginning because I feel as though so many people were interested right off the bat. So my momentum just kind of continued to snowball off itself from sharing those results. Now, also because I was following up and emailing and inviting people to join me, but I think for me personally, that momentum really kicked my business into high gear. So for the first 2 years, I did the basics. I was excited for where this business was going. I could see the potential. Sorry. I watched it with Rose, and I watched it with other members of my team, and I set these big, hairy, scary goals of possibly being able to retire from teaching and how awesome that would be. And then this year, I kind of said, all right, well, summer going into school, like August time, is a tough time for me. I'm spending 60 plus hours in my classroom setting up, going back and forth to Staples, you name it, my time is spent on school. So I always kind of figured that August and September are rough months for me. Well, this year it started off super rough. I was warned early in the summer that I got one of the students to be very aware of and to prepare myself for. And I was coming home every day upset and crying and frustrated. And it put me in a really kind of a downward spiral mentally. I'm not usually that kind of person. Usually I can leave school at school, come home, and completely separate my life here at home from school. But this year, it just threw me for a loop. We started talking about getting pregnant, and the stress from school was just putting me in a really negative space mentally, and I almost didn't realize how bad it was. And so when this started happening for me, I just kind of started letting my business happen. I was watching, my coaches, Courtney and Danielle, and I was watching some new coaches make some real momentum. And with that, I saw an increase in volume. So I was like, oh, I must be doing my job. My coaches are doing well. Well, a couple months passed and a couple months not hitting Success Club. And I really was starting to just let things go, let things happen, because I had built a good business. Here I am sitting at 2-star comfortably, watching a good amount of income kind of start to trickle down lower and lower, and kind of wonder why. Here I am thinking I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Well, 2 weeks ago, I woke up on Thursday morning when we're usually all super excited, and I saw I had not only dropped in rank, but it was my lowest paycheck to date. And it was a real wake-up call for me, because at first I was really upset, and I was like, oh man, what kind of leader am I to these coaches if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing? I dropped from 2-star to Ruby. And it wasn't because of my coaches. My coaches were still right at their rank where they were. My coaches had higher volume levels, biggest paychecks, and it was a direct reflection of what I was not doing for my business. So here I am supposed to be this, a leader on our team and helping newer coaches through Coach Basics see what you need to do on a daily basis. And I wasn't doing what I was telling new coaches to do. So for me, that was a big wake-up call. I immediately went into a leadership page that we have, and I just let it all out there. And I said, I admit it, I have not been inviting. I've been posting challenge groups and saying, who's going to join me? And then I never did anything beyond that. And I would say, why am I not getting anyone for my challenge groups? What's the matter? I don't understand. Why aren't people reaching out to me anymore? And truth be told, it was because I wasn't doing the follow-up. I wasn't doing the professional development. I had a list of calls that I wanted to listen to that I just didn't get to. And it was because I let myself go into a very negative space mentally with school. I let myself kind of just say, hey, the business is going to happen on its own, which it doesn't. And when I sat there looking at my computer screen on that Thursday morning, I said, it's nobody's fault but my own. And these things happen. People drop rank all the time. People don't talk about it because you don't want to admit it. You don't want to admit that there was a setback. But one thing I remember Lindsay Matway saying at Summit, I believe it was Summit this year, she talked about how you can use your setbacks as a setup for success. And so I decided that at that moment, it could go two directions. I could say, well, there you go. My coaches are just going to outrun me and I'll watch them succeed and it's not going to happen for me. Or I can completely shift my mindset. I can set goals that are achievable on a daily basis. I can give myself tasks to do every day. And I can start thinking like I'm that brand new coach that started her business 2 years ago. So when I started doing that 2 weeks ago, within the week, I went from I was sitting at Success Club 0 for myself, and Dan's account, my husband's account, was at SC2. And now I'm at SC7 and he's at SC6 in a week. I'm back up to 2-star. And I don't say that to be like, oh, thank God I'm back up to 2-star. It's a relief to see that rank back where it should be because of the effort I put in. But it's a reminder that this business does not work unless you focus on the basics. And there's no secret to the success other than to be making sure that you have a positive outlook, that you are setting yourself up for success by doing the things that we talk about all the time. But I was realizing that I was saying I was doing them and I was not really doing them. So that was the biggest, I think, shift for me. And when I started to think about how my business was going to happen and what goals I had for myself, I really needed to sit down and think about what I can do to make this happen. And I was kind of just getting ready for tonight's call, and I was starting to do some research, and I found this quote. I was like, well, I don't know if it's a little harsh, but I thought it would be effective. It worked for me, and I'll read a little bit to you. It just said, would you rather be pitiful or powerful? I know that's kind of harsh, but so I looked back at myself 2 weeks ago, and I was pitiful. Like that was not me. That was like not my personality. I'm not like that Eeyore kind of gal. Woe is me. That's not me, and it's never been me. So I made a decision that day that was not where my business was going to go. So I decided that was the time that I needed to really put myself set up for success by doing these daily things, making sure I'm revisiting the basics, and that I'm thinking positively and where I want my business to go, and knowing what I need to do to get there. So, if you get your mind wrapped around your goals and what you set out to achieve, look at Diana setting out to achieve just paying for 1 month of Shakeology and blows it out of the water by hitting SC18. That's something that's attainable. It's possible when you put your goals in front of you and you put the actions in place each day, not just when you want to get there. So when you think about the power in the belief of yourself, the power in the belief of your mindset, and how much that can truly make a difference in not only your physical well-being, your mental well-being, but overall in your performance daily at work, in your performance in your business, all of these things are greatly affected by your mindset and the goals that you set for yourself. And if you truly believe that they're attainable. If you're sitting back saying, oh, that's great, Jess wants to retire from teaching, good for her. That probably won't happen for me. Then I'm telling you, it's not going to happen for you. So when you really set these goals, believe in them. Diane set the goal for herself to pay for her Shakeology. She did that, and it's covered. And it's not something she's going to say, well, great, I got 1 month paid for it. I'm good to go. She's going to keep trying to repeat that effort and then start to set higher goals that she knows are achievable, because there is true power in your mindset and what you tell yourself you're capable of. If you tell yourself that you're going to fail, if you tell yourself that you're a victim, then those are the things that you are truly going to be. You are truly going to fail. But the moment you set yourself up for success mentally and you put it on a Post-it note and you put it on a whiteboard and you visualize that for yourself, those things can happen. So I don't know if I kind of touched on, I think, everything. And then I know I wanted to touch on signing up coaches, but I don't know if you really, do you want to go into that, Rose? Yeah? Okay. So originally that's what the call was going to be about, but then I had to talk about where I was and where I was going and what got me there. So one thing that I've done from the beginning that I think has truly helped build my business is that I have kind of always signed people up as coaches. And most of them are discount buyers, but I have to say for a good amount of them, they've become active coaches because they were already a coach. So how that comes up in discussion is I simply just let them know that they can pay. If they're getting a Shakeology challenge pack, I let them know that they can pay what I pay. And we can cancel at any time. And I keep it really casual. So I know a lot of people are wondering, my downline is I have a strong amount of coaches on each side. I just signed 5 or 6 coaches in the past week. And really that's only because most of them are discount coaches. 2 of them are possible active coaches. But the reason I do that is so that they are already set up for those referrals. Because if you want to kind of explain it to people, you can refer 3 and get yours for free. It's a big thing on our team. So that way they're already enrolled as a coach, and then you can start placing people who they may refer underneath of them. And that helps you start building active coaches because they see the commission, they see the discount, and they might want to start sharing it more on their own. It also really helps for people who start to see great success and people start asking them about what they're doing. They're already enrolled as a coach. So when I first enroll someone, I have the same questions that you all ask your customers. What are your goals? What are you hoping to achieve? What kind of workouts do you like? Those sort of things. And then when we get to the enrollment part, I, for a lot of them, offer to do it for them. So that way I explain, I'm going to sign you up so that you get a discount. I rarely mention that you're a coach. I might say that you're a discount coach or a discount buyer. But if you do ever want to refer anyone, we can sign someone, put them right underneath of you so you get that kickback. And they really like that idea that if they like the program, like the product, they can say, hey, Aunt so-and-so, you want to lose 10 pounds, join me. And I'll just my friend said, I'll put you underneath of me. So that's kind of a snippet into why I enroll people as coaches. It's mainly just so they're already set up for the referrals and for inviting people as active coaches. So now, Rose, you want me to elaborating more while you eat?
Sorry, I am really listening. No, I think that was absolutely great. Everything that you said, everything that you touched upon, that this business doesn't just grow if you just let it sit there. You do definitely have to, I think, be honest with yourself, because like I can try and hold you accountable and say, Jess, are you doing your invites? Jess, are you doing your personal development? But like, I don't want to do that. Like, yeah, I'll hold you accountable, but I don't want to be that person that's like pushing you. Like, I want you to like ask yourself, well, am I really? And I think we all have to kind of be upfront and honest with us, especially when we have those poo-poo times where we're like, we're at Success Club 0, or I dropped ranked, or no, everyone's saying no. Like, you have to really be honest with yourself and ask yourself, are you doing the basics? Are you actually inviting people? Are you getting new people into that funnel on Facebook? Are you reaching out to different people? Are you doing your personal development and actually like listening to what they're telling you to do and doing the action steps? Are you being proof the product works and sharing that with people? So just being honest with yourself, and just go right back to the basics. And I mean, even if you're sitting at Success Club 0 and it's March 29th, you can totally pull it off in 2 days. I did it last month. Not to say like pat myself on the back, but if I can do that, like you guys can do it too. Not just because I've been doing this for 3 years or because I quit my full-time job. That doesn't mean anything. You just have to go out there and do it and stop kind of using the crutches or the excuses that you're telling yourself to do, because it really is the mindset. And I know my upline, Lisa, would tell me all the time, like, just go into, a dark, quiet room, or like go outside where like you have no cell phone, no computer, and just sit there and visualize like you hitting Success Club. Visualize like this amazing, great coach with all the qualities that you want. They're honest, they're open, they're fun, they're trusting, they're willing to put themselves out there. And just imagine all those things happening and getting really excited about it like it happened. And that's going to shift your mindset in a blink of an eye. And then all of a sudden, like, all these people are going to be messaging you, and you're like, what happened? Like, well, that juju stuff that Lisa told me to do, why is that working? I don't know why. It just, like the track, like when you put that stuff out there, you get it right back. So that change in the mindset is huge. I'm going to stop talking. But if other coaches have anything that has worked for them, or any questions about how to sign up coaches just for the discount, the wording around that, because I know a lot of people kind of get caught up in the wording, because let's be honest, getting to Emerald is extremely important. That's when you can start banking on those team bonus cycles. So you're not doing this business alone. You're getting that residual income from the team. I'm really going to stop talking.
I'll mention something about the wording for the discount coach. I don't even use the word coach. I try to tell my coaches, do not overcomplicate it, because if you start kind of like going into it, it makes people nervous. I'm good on the phone, so I try to get people on the phone. It conveys better over the phone than I feel like it does through Facebook Messenger. So usually what I'm like is basically I say, I'm going to put you down for the family and friends discount because you're my friend or you're such and such, and I don't ever want you to have to pay more than you should. And if you're going to be using these products, why wouldn't you want a discount? Like, I don't say coach. I don't say disc. I just say family and friends. And they're like, okay, great. And then I'm like, all right, I just need to put down some extra information down with you. I'm going to log it into the computer as you tell me. And that's that. And if they're comfortable, I mean, most of the time they're always comfortable with it. And they're like, okay, no problem. The more you go into it and explain it, the more complicated it sounds and people get nervous. I make it really basic. Do you want the discount? I'll give you the family and friends discount. I do this for everybody that is serious about losing weight, or I do this for all my friends. I do this for all my family. My mom does that. You know what I mean? This way, I'm not really explaining too much. They just know that they're getting a discount, and if they choose to stop or do whatever, they're not locked into anything either. But I never really go too deep, like, okay, you're going to pay this, and then you're going to have to put in your, just keep it super, super clean and simple.
Anybody else have any questions or ways that they present being a coach, or questions about why you would want someone to be a coach instead of a customer?
And what I did want to mention too is, I know people really get stuck on, well, they have to put their social security. I don't think they're going to feel comfortable with it. If you don't feel comfortable with it, then they're not going to feel comfortable with it. I simply say you need to put your social security, just because if you get referrals and you make over $600, you get a 1099 form in the mail for taxes. Plain and simple. I'm not like, oh, you gotta, like, I say it with confidence. If you say it with confidence and you're not worried about it, it's fine. And sometimes still people are worried about it. They can, you can put fake numbers in there. I didn't say this and I'm not recording it. But if they're really not doing the business, it really doesn't make a big deal. But most likely, sometimes I end up actually wanting to do the business. Anyways, I'm going to stop. Anyone else with questions, comments?
Are we good? Everyone good? Well, I hope you guys found it helpful. That's when Rose and I were chatting about what we were going to talk about. I really wanted to focus on how important mindset is, because I really try to pride myself in being an overly optimistic, positive thinker, but sometimes you have to recognize when you get in that funk and what you can do, and how going back to the very, very basics of when you started coaching and when you started thinking about why this is something you're passionate about, how much that can truly affect what you're attracting in your business and who you're attracting, and how much you are attracting to your page, to you as a person. So that's why I kind of chose tonight to focus on that. Plus, it's 8:30 and I'm still awake because it's not a school night. It's spring break. So I'm so glad to be here with all of you. If you have any questions, again, feel free to always post on the team page. I'll put that picture up for you all to see with the April specials. If you do have questions about the reset, that is something, if you've never done it, it might be a great challenge for you to do for yourself if it aligns with what's going on in your life. Any questions, really feel free to ask me at any time about it. It's a program that I swear by and love, but it's not for everyone, so it's good to know the details about it and what it requires of you, because it is a commitment. So know that.
All right, thanks everyone. Thank you so much, Jessica, for putting this all together for us. I'm going to close this one out, and then for the coach webinar, just go to the event. The link is right in there. Invite as many people as you can. There's still 29 minutes to go. Invite.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.